What's up, YouTube family? Before we get started, just a quick reminder, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it helps out the show so much. And now, let's enjoy the show.
When it comes to men, we're swiping. If we don't got premium, we're just going hard in the paint, making right. I might get 2 or 3 matches. All right, so if I didn't swipe right, I would get nobody.
The Self-Hype Podcast.
What is up, y'all? I'm your host, Eli Vasquez, and welcome to the Self-Hype Podcast. Gang, brought to you by Chobo Studios. And we are going to talk all things dating apps. Oh, Eli, I hate dating apps. They're awful. They're this, they're that. Girl, relax, because you get to talk to 12 guys while you're sitting on the toilet. We're going to talk about the dating app survival guide, how to understand what's going through the mindset of a man, but also this is helpful for everyone, of how to not only thrive IRL, but thrive in these digital streets. Let's get into it. How y'all doing? What are you guys doing while you're listening to this? You know, like, you're like just sitting in your car, eating a cheeseburger, crying? Like, what's, I'm so curious. Like, I just love this digital space. I'm going on a tangent here, but, you know, I just love this digital space because it's so random. Like, I used to do this podcast back in 2020. And I never forget, it was like someone commented like, yo, I live in France and I go for walks while I listen to your podcast. I'm like, what? My Southside Chicago, Puerto Rican ass? And there's a lady in France, a French woman, if you will, eating a baguette, living her best life, like walking through Paris and listening to me. It is wild. I thought that was just so cool. So if you are from France and you are eating a baguette, walking through Paris, holler at your boy, because that just makes me feel some type of way. But with that said, let's get into it. Dating apps. It is the digital era. Now, I first want to give some context where I have experience in this game. I've been through majority of the apps, and I'm not really proud to say that. I'm not saying I was my most poppin' in the dating app game. I used it too much. And I was one of the first people. I would like to say I'm one of the pilgrims, early settlers of this digital land we call Tinder, we call Plenty of Fish, well, actually not Plenty of Fish, that's a hot mess. OK Cupid, and all that. Like, I was doing it when people are like, yo, there might be some creeps out there, Eli. And now people are like getting married and taking like cute matching fall photos together, like Tinder couple. So I've been in the game for a minute, and I've seen some things, been through some things, struggled through some things, and then some. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. And again, this is the Self-Hype Podcast. We talk all things love dating, but it's focused on your personal development. And I think I love talking about dating apps because I want to bridge that gap between why people struggle so much with that. Look, I get it. It is hard. It is a potato after a dusty potato after a dusty potato. And guess what? These dusty potatoes aren't even that interesting. And then they have the audacity, dare I say the audacity, to then unmatch you or not reply back or all those things. And you're like, I am a goddamn prize. I gave you a chance with you holding a sea bass while standing on that boat. Are you kidding me? I gave you a chance. So I get the struggle of dating apps. I understand where the issues are, and we're going to dive into all of it. Not only how to manage and use dating apps, but also what are some ways that you could work on yourself to better create a sustainability system and reminders to make this work for you versus against you. Because let's be honest, and I say this all the time in my content, I freaking love dating apps, and you got to stop complaining, because if you get to literally sit on the toilet, talk to like 20 dudes at the same time, while your great-great-grandmammy had to ride on horseback, fight a grizzly bear just to, go on a first date. So let's chillax for a second, all right? And let's dive into it. So here's the thing.
What's up, y'all? Sorry to interrupt. I know you guys are enjoying the episode, but real quick, I want to tell you about the Patreon. You could join it. So many different perks, early access. You can even ask me a question that can even get on this show. So it's all patreon.com/selfhype. Check it out. Now let's get back to it.
Here's the thing. You got to understand that dating apps are just a tool in the toolbox. But I think now that we're moving into this digital era and we're afraid to speak IRL, we're catering to this because it's easy and it's in our hand and it's simple and it's It's just low lift. And we all are afraid of rejection. We're all afraid of feeling negative feelings. We don't want to go put ourselves out there and, go holler at the guy at the gym, which you shouldn't, you nasties. I don't understand why you want your life to be more complex. That's a whole other issue. I don't want to dive into hooking up with people at the gym. But when it comes to dating apps, is like people are leaning more on it because they don't got to get off the damn couch. But then they complain because of what comes with it. I think the biggest thing you have to understand is, again, it's a tool in the damn toolbox. It ain't the solution. It ain't the cure. It's just one of many tools. If they give you a wrench and say, hey, go fix this car, build this car from scratch, you could only do so much. But you may need the wrench every once in a while. Again, it is one of many solutions. But I think a big issue is we put so much energy into it. And you got to think, this damn app is literally next to Fruit Ninja, Angry Birds. It's literally next to your Tetris. Are you going to lose that Tetris and look in the mirror and cry? No, you're not. I hope you're not. Maybe stop playing Tetris so much if that is the case. But I will say that we put a lot of emotional weight and our self-worth in this thing that we call an app in our hand, which, let's be honest, this is a private company. They want you to stay. They want you to keep swiping. There's algorithm behind this. It is what it is. And so you need to understand that, again, that this is not the solution and not to put all your weight into it. And again, this is a tool, in the digital age tool. Again, your great-great-grandma would kill to have this thing. She's like, you're kidding me? I don't have to fight for my life. I don't have to build a canoe and set sail across to a voyage, which is really a couple hundred feet away, a mile away to the next town to have a man court me. I get to just pull out this device, do a couple swipes, make a couple lefts, and then I just get to relax while I get to churn butter. That's what you're telling me right now. I say all this, again, to give you context. Again, gratitude of being in this era will always bring you to a humility point of view. But here's the number one thing you got to understand right now is that the dating app game is literally people are swiping up a storm. It is you feeling you're feeling bad about it. You're feeling bad about no one, calling you. You build a billboard ad on the fastest highway there is, and you're next to 1,000 other billboards, and you're mad that people aren't looking at your number, typing it in and calling you while they're driving 100 miles per hour. That's literally the equivalent of dating apps. That's something to remember. Okay, you are just a digital picture next to so many other people. They don't know you. They don't know your problems. They don't know your traumas. They don't know what you've been through, and they don't give a damn because we're all sitting on the toilet while doing this. So that is what you have to understand off the jump, that it's not that you suck. It's just this digital landscape is built in a very particular way. Now, I know there's a lot of lady listeners, so I want to dive in to how guys do the social media apps, because maybe also I might be curious. So number one thing you gotta understand is that, and this is going to correlate to y'all on how to better use dating apps, by the way. So when it comes to men, we're swiping. So when it comes to men and using dating apps, we're swiping. Swipe first, ask questions later. That's the game. So we are if we don't got premium, we're just going hard in the paint, making right. Just everyone could get some of this digital love. I don't even know your name. I don't even know what you look like. I'm swiping that fast to see what matches I get. And I know what you're thinking, Eli, you see, they don't even care. They're not even paying attention. Girl, listen, I'm a man. I like to think I'm not that bad looking, and maybe we max out at X amount of swipes, right? I might get 2 or 3 matches on a good day. All right. So if I didn't swipe right, I would get nobody. And I've been on ladies' dating apps. It is match after match after match after match. So you have the space and opportunity to look at the profile, see what if they are the Gemini or not, to look at the photo, see their answers, really think about what's their vibe, what's their energy. Let me go on CoStar real quick. We don't got time for that, because literally we'll get -3 matches and we'll die alone. So don't see it as us being disingenuous. See it as this is the nature of the platform. So just because you get a match with a dude, sure, they're down to talk to you, but it doesn't mean that there's potential there. He's just like, after he's throwing the freaking net out to the ocean, no questions asked, just throwing it out and pulling and see if there's anything in it. And once he sees what's in it, it could be a shoe tire or it could be a fish. Then that's when he decides. And that's through the matching, seeing your profile, and then if he wants to initiate a conversation with you. But just because he matches doesn't mean that, like, oh my God, this is next level. I went on CoStar and we line up perfectly. No, he didn't think that much. And I know, oh, it's frustrating. You're like, well, that's the name of the game. And I'm telling you this so you can move correct in that digital space. So the number one thing that you need to understand with this information is that your profile should be a space for filtration. You are a Brita filter. That is what your dating app is. And so what you need to do is put some things out there that shows your personality, but also what you're intentionally looking for. And I am not saying that you need to do all caps and all that. I don't need no man, but I'm on here anyway. And, Aiden's my king. And, I'm busy and I don't got time for you. No drama, all cap. No, that's gaga energy. Nobody wants any of that. So, and if you're that angry, maybe, do some breath work, do some yoga, then come back to it. But what I'm saying is move in a space where you are in a fun, flirty way presenting who you are and what you're looking for. So in that bio, say, yo, looking for my future hubby in these streets, wink, wink, and that's cute and funny, but also saying, listen, I'm not looking for casual bumping bellies here. I'm looking to get chose. So think about that dynamic, and also your photos. Think of your photos of, showing the dynamic of what your life is. So if you like to do mountain biking, show your beautiful goddess self on a mountain bike, getting it. If you like to just chill and have a drink at a bar, take a photo of you at the bar. Show hey, this is what it's like to date me. This is what it is. It's like going on Amazon and clicking through the photos to see like, what does it look like? What's the vibe of it? That is what you want for yourself. Present who you are. Don't try to cookie cutter, like fit in with everybody. You're trying to be specific. So if they read your bio, they know, oh, I'm just looking for something casual. Oh, well. Or if they look at your photos, oh man, she loves fitness and working out. I don't. Oh, well. Again, we don't want to be liked by everyone. We want filtration. We want rejection. We want all that. That's the name of the game because we're trying to find our one. But the only way we find a one is being in our most authentic. So don't be afraid to move in a space of flirty intention. And also I will say as a guy, you should have one like pick of you should have one pick that's like, the bikini pick. Like you know the leather skirt pick. You know what I'm talking about. Show a little something, be like, hey, play your cards right, daddy. This is what you get. So I'm not saying it does not hurt, because that's what we're doing. Like, let's call it what it is. It's an interview saying if we find you attractive enough to hook up with you. That's just what it is. So you don't have to. I'm just saying it doesn't hurt. But also, like, I would say some not red flags, but some things that may deter dudes is photos with other guys. That's probably a big one. But other than that, there's not really a system. I think it's interesting where like a buddy told me there is a system with like how dudes make their profiles though. And I learned this from the best of them. This is what he broke down to me.
What's up, y'all? Sorry to interrupt. I know you guys are enjoying the episode, but real quick, I want to tell you about the Patreon. You could join it, so many different perks, early access. You can even ask me a question that can even get on this show. So it's all patreon.com/selfhype. Check it out. Now, let's get back to it.
This was like the 5 photos. He's like, you just need 5 photos. 1, you need to be in a suit. 2, you need to be out socializing with some friends. 3, you need to be doing something active or outside doing something active. 4, with a pet, dog, what have you. And 5, dance with your grandma or your mom. You get those 5 photos, you're golden. And I know some of the lady listeners are listening and be like, damn, he's right. That does work. It does work. So there's definitely is a system. But I will say, you being a lady in these digital streets, do not be afraid to share who you are. Again, dating is a filtration system. That is what you present is what you should expect. So in terms of what the photos are, in terms of, what those captions are, in terms of what the conversations are, because some of y'all will fold if you see a man that has potential or the idea of a dude, or he's real fine. Like you will fold and everything you put in that profile just, crumbles a little bit. So it's good to stay in your truth to find the best, most authentic person. We're trying to create authentic digital roots to then sprue up the most authentic experience tree possible. But yes, and here's the thing too. If you're burnt out, take a break. If you're burnt out and you're like, dating sucks and guys suck and everything sucks and dating apps suck and all that, dude, take a break. Take a breather, delete the app, go do some Tai Chi in a forest. Like, just breathe. Like, because no one wants that energy. Even the one, there's going to be a dope guy that actually vibes with you. But because you're so jaded and so like angry with the state of dating, which I understand, but no one wants to be with that energy. So it's okay to take a breather. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to put the phone down and delete the apps and go again, do some Tai Chi. Like, take a breather if you need to, because I think it's really important. Because I agree, you could get burnt out, but you're not showing your best self. You're not being in your truth. You're not saying what you need to. But that is really, what it's all about. But this is a filtration system. Your profile is a filtration system. The discussions that you have in the chats is a filtration system. I'll share with you, how your boy used to do it back in the day. I'm not in these digital streets anymore. So if you see a dating profile with my face on it, it ain't me, and report it. So here's the thing. Filter the discussion. So this is how I did it. And I had a pretty good acceptance rate. Which was, my first question was, y'all could judge me. Judge me in the comments and let me know how good this is. All right. The first message I had when I matched with someone was, top 3 worst movies, go! ! And you're probably thinking about top 3 worst movies. What are you talking about? Top 3 worst? Top 3 worst movies. Not the best movies, because that's such an eye roll. It's like everyone thinks about that. No, top 3 worst movies. It makes you think a little bit. And that go! ! Like, ooh, okay, I got to think of something. But here's the thing. That was a filtration for me. That not only was flirty and fun that made me stand out, but listen, your boy's a filmmaker. Your boy is about the culture. Your boy loves movies and cinema, and he cannot be with a woman that does not appreciate that and cannot think of fun, funny banter. It's a fun space to be. So women that said, I don't know, not that interested. Women that said, I don't watch movies, definitely not for me. And then it was the women that said, oh, that's really fun. So these are my 3. And then I replied with mine. And then we had a fun conversation about crappy movies. And I was like, yo, we got to watch a movie sometime. And through that, she could see that, wow, I already had this whole conversation with this dude. I will partake and go on a date with him. So what I'm saying is, it's fun and flirty. It's flirty intention, where I'm presenting a question that's fun, that stands out, but with the intention of getting to know you a little more and seeing how playful you are, seeing if there's a dynamic and vibe, but also, do you even like movies? Because I freaking love movies. So that's the big thing. But again, I'm not worried about it not working out. I was not worried. I was like, great, it didn't vibe. It wasn't for me. Or it's just, this is the time where I'm not really matching it with people, and that's okay. I'm not vibing with people. This is the process. The way my mindset is, and the way I think everyone should be, is get out of the lottery system. We are thinking like this is a slot machine and we're waiting to win big. And every time we don't win big, we feel down and out. It is not a lottery system. It is a freaking marathon. We are in the Amazon jungle with the machete, hacking and slashing, son. And the way I need you to think about it is that if I promised you that you would have your dream guy come down from the heavens, and it's everything you ever wanted, but you had to get rejected 99 times, how fast would you get rejected? Or a better question, how little would you care to get rejected? Because that's really the mindset that you should have. We're in the rejection business. Don't get it twisted. You being in the dating space is you being in the rejection business. And this is what I'm saying is, when people put so much of their self-worth in these apps, in these discussions, in this thing, again, you're giving so much external, you're giving all your power, all the power to the external, when it should be an internal power. You should not be trying to receive power from anyone but your damn self. So you got to know that you are shining and you are great. And if it does not work for you, it is for you. And a lot of people can't do that because when they look in the mirror, they don't see that light. And that is really where the self-work comes in. Because, baby girl, I know I'm fantastic. But the difference is, I think in society, we really like beat ourselves up in terms of, oh, I don't want to look cocky. I don't want people to judge me for being cocky. Like, there's a difference between cocky and confident. Like, confident people feel like they're $1,000,000, but they treat the world with humility and love and grace. Cocky people think they're $1,000,000 and they think they're better than everyone and treats the world like crap. That's the difference. Don't be cocky, but you can be confident. So you can know you got gifts, you can know you got shine, you can know you got light. And again, if it does not serve you, it is not meant to be. You are one rejection closer to finding the one. It is a marathon. We are in the rejection business. And know that what doesn't work for you, again, is getting you closer. You are in the pursuit of finding what you inevitably will find, because that's the human experience. It's setting intention and being consistent and authentic. I have changed my life multiple times over outside of love, dating, and all that. But it was through those principles of, as long as I don't stop, it's inevitable that I will achieve what I want. And that comes from dating, relationships, and all that. But that comes from a deeper sense of trust in yourself. You got to trust yourself. And how do we do that? We must move and act in fulfillment. And I dive in so much deeper in this and other episodes. So definitely be on the lookout for more. I have a whole episode where we talk rejection and how to deal with ghosters and all that. We dive a lot into that. But this is a big part of it, right? A lot of us get caught up in this, especially when you have conversations with a dude and and it doesn't work out. Oh, I had all this potential. Again, you're falling for the idea. Stay in the reality. Everyone wants to book a one-way express ticket to Delulu land when you should be staying in Realityville, where that's what matters. So that brings me up to my next point is, when it comes to dating apps, it ain't real until it's real. And I say that it ain't matter. None of it matters until you're IRL, until you're in person with the person. I don't care if you messaged each other and chatted and both laid on your bellies and kicked your feet up while like FaceTiming each other on the app. I don't give a damn until you physically see the person and have a proper date. That's when we're off to the races. Because at that point, we're still in the fun game dating app phase. Now we got to move on from that. So a situation I would do for myself, because dating in LA was so expensive, was that I would, have my conversation. Then I would transfer that to a phone call. And if we vibed on a phone call, then I would book a date. And you're probably thinking, I don't got time for all that. I'm like, then move on, boo-boo. We're not meant to be together. So, but the thing is, for me, is I ain't going to go out of my way and spend this money and do X, Y, Z if it's not worth it. I've been on enough dates to know that. So I at least want to go on a phone call to see if there's a banter and fun dynamic between us. So that prompts me to want to go on a date. So, and then they feel more comfortable with me. I feel more comfortable with them. It's just a better flow of it. So I say all this is like to create a system of sustainability. And again, this is all a filtration system. The profiles filtration, the discussions are filtration. And yes, the dates are filtration as well. Don't go in thinking, oh, I hope he likes me. Baby girl, you better go in saying, do I even like him? Or what questions do I want to present in a fun, flirty way? That's like dating intentionally. So that is what it's all about. And that is what I want you to hold on to and think of as you go into it. And again, through all this, you are in the driver's seat. And again, with that gratitude perspective, to know, understand, or to remember what your great-great-grandma fighting a grizzly bear, to know that you get to be in this space, to know this algorithm's wild and crazy and acting nuts, to know that you matter and you have gifts, and know that even the best filtration system is always 99.9% effective. So there's always going to be 1% that little bit of bacteria that comes in. But I'm just saying, this system isn't foolproof. But as long as you come correct and you walk in abundance and know that you have gifts and what doesn't serve you is for you, this dating app game is so easy. because it's just something on your phone. And if you talk to people, you talk to people, you vibe, you vibe. If you don't, you don't, yada, yada, yada. And for my people that are like, Eli, you don't understand. If a guy swipes right on me and he says hi, I put my emotions on my sleeve. I catch feels. I think that's a deeper conversation because you don't even know who this man is. And I think that's another psychological thing that we got to dive into in terms of work of ourselves, of why am I clinging on so quickly when I don't even know, like, if our value systems even align. Because value systems are deal breakers. Value systems is not chemistry. It is a compatibility. And if you don't even know that, then that means you are you're not happy in the ship that you're sailing in, and you're trying to jump to another one thinking that's going to save you. It's not. So these are some things to hold on to. Again, a toolbox filtration, and have it work for you. And it's all not gaga energy. It's just being flirty, fun, and curious with intention. That's what it is. Thank you all so much for listening in this week to the Self-Hype Podcast. I'm so happy to vibe with you, connect with you, dive into these topics and situations. I'm so damn appreciative of y'all. Seriously. And to my Patreon community, thank y'all so much. We're giving you so many amazing goodies and so many amazing things and so much amazing love. And if you want to join, please join. This is how we keep the show going, keep the lights on. If you want to work with me in my coaching programs, definitely check out the link in the bio, the caption, all that, show notes, so you can work with me. I don't take this lightly, and I take all this seriously. I've been a coach since 2019. I don't play no games in the digital streets. I see you as a human being. So if you book with me and work with me, you get me. So I would love to work with you. I would love to hear your story. And thanks for listening and supporting. I see y'all next week.
The Self-Hype Podcast.